Go for it.
Aloha snack bar, everyone. It's the one, the only, the Senor Silverback, joined live with the main man who is the master of the flux capacitor. And we're here for another Mornings with V and CJ, where we break down the news, the information, and things that matter the most to you. With that being said, you can follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money. Check out roguemoney.net, as well as follow us on Facebook at Rogue Money. Also, guys, if you haven't gotten a chance to check out our sponsors, myfreedomnow.us. If you're suffering from debt, you need some debt relief, you need to hit the reset button on your credit score, check out myfreedomnow.us. Myfreedomnow.us. With that being said, CJ, what's crack-a-lacking, buddy?
Hey, good morning, V. How are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, my man. Hanging in there. Still fighting the bugs. A little under the weather, but still hanging in there, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around right now.
Oh, it's this weather. It's all these changes and whatnot, man. It's the worst. Perfect time to get sick, man. Tis the season, my man.
Tis the
Tis the season.
season. Tis the season.
Absolutely, bro. So what's first on the agenda, man? It seems like the one and only Ryan and the Rhinos, they're all getting set up for a fall over here, huh?
Well, it appears, there's a lot of information coming out, and it was a very interesting thing, V, that happened.
Mm.
Not shortly after they decided at some point to go ahead and just pull the bill, the healthcare reform bill, from the table. Trump sent out a very interesting tweet stating, "Hey, make sure tonight at 9 p.m. listen to Judge Janine on Fox because I support what she says."
Oh man. Oh man. Break
And
that down for us, bro. What does that look like?
so basically, within the first 2 minutes of her speech, she basically ripped Paul Ryan, Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, a new one. In particular, V, she specifically stated, think about this, okay? The conservatives have had the past 7 years to
Yeah.
be working on a reform plan. They've talked about it. They have campaigned on it for so long, specifically around, hey, we need to replace it. So then you have Paul Ryan, who specifically, behind closed doors, didn't really meet with a lot of the hardline conservatives, or the Freedom Party. I believe that's their official title. So long story short, he failed. He failed miserably to deliver in the time. Think of it this way as well. Think of that he had the conservatives had the House.
Yeah.
They have the Senate. They have the presidency. So what's this specifically state about his leadership, right?
Hmm.
So she basically is calling for him to step down and for someone else to step in. And there's a lot of speculation, that Trump specifically, do this, just, give him enough rope out there to hang himself from it. It's a lot of collateral damage coming from it. But I guess in terms of, changing things out and doing it to state, look, here's a perfect example of why you can't be Speaker of the House. You can't effectively lead. Perhaps maybe that's the message, that the takeaway from this debacle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things is this. I mean, these guys had how many years, CJ? 8 years to have some sort of a backup, something prepared. And what this has proved is that these guys had nothing but theatrics, man. At the end of the day, it was all political kabuki theater. It was all theatrics. It was the political version of the WWE, where they're all pretending to be villains and heroes. Meanwhile, they're all hanging out at the same country clubs. They're all, whining and dining at the same places. It's a joke. 8 years, they had something. And all of a sudden, when push comes to shove, when you actually had a leader out there that actually wants to change Obamacare, wants to get rid of it, now all of a sudden they're empty-handed. They can't do nothing but come out with Obamacare Light, which basically would have been a failure to begin with. They've hung themselves, CJ. They've absolutely were given enough rope, and they will hang themselves on this rope. It's these guys will not be here in 2 years. I guarantee you.
V, you specifically remember that we covered this in detail whenever what happened was, whenever there was Rand Paul was going around trying to figure out where the bill was. Remember that he had the printer? He was going around saying,
Exactly.
where is this damn bill? Where is this bill? So that we can read it in advance. We can garner support. We can openly talk. So Paul Ryan played basically the same card that the Democrats did whenever there was we have to pass it to see what's in it. He was trying to accomplish that very same thing. He just blindly thought, just because of party affiliation, that people would vote party lines. So this
Nope.
is a big wake up call, to him and to some of the conservative bloc, to state, wait, there are some good people in the House and Senate. They're going to say, you know what, we are going to keep Americans' best interest in mind, because what you stated was absolutely right. Obamacare Light, regardless, no matter how you try to paint it, it was basically going to do very little to reform Obamacare. So now here's the other thing. The other perspective is that now the Democrats are stuck with this. So we all know that Obamacare is going to crash upon itself. You see the consolidation of insurance. You see a lot of people pulling out from the actual plans that they promised, and we can't do it. You see the amount of debt that these insurance companies are accumulating. So there's no doubt this is going to collapse upon itself. And in 2 years, when they go to run on this thing and people are losing their insurance, there's no insurance plans available, the Democratic Party could be over with.
Oh, absolutely, dude. And the funniest thing is, dude, at the end of that election cycle, I said this, man. I said, you and I both said it so many times. Worst thing these idiots could do is double down. They know that Obamacare is going to implode, but they're so stupid. They absolutely are holding on to it like they call conservatives bitter Bible clingers, right? Clinging to their guns and their Bibles, right? Well, these guys are clinging to their Obamacare, their socialist agenda. It's going to go up in smokes, man. It's these guys. What these guys are doing is the equivalent of, you saw that movie Dr. Strangelove?
Yes,
the guy
yes.
where the bomb is coming out of the bay of the B-52, and the captain of the plane is riding that bomb all the way down. That's what Chuck E. Cheese Schumer and Nancy Pelosi are going to be doing, and the rest of the Democratic Party. They're going to be on that bomb, which is called Obamacare, riding it all the way down to the bottom and explode, and they're going to be waving and smiling all the way down until it's too late. That's how stupid these idiots are, bro. Unbelievable. Hats off to them. Enjoy it. In a year and a half, by the end of this year, Obamacare will be exacerbated. It'll be much worse. And going into 2018, it will be in disaster central, man. Absolutely disastrous.
And imagine when they go home to their constituents, they're having to explain this.
Exactly. When they lose coverage, and now it's I thought this was the Affordable Care Act. Now I have a $16,000 premium. It's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, anyway. And here's the other thing that I think that it's accomplished for you. I think it's geopolitically made China and Russia lose confidence. I think that they went into this kind of cautiously optimistic regarding the changes regarding Trump and everything, but now they're actually seeing the ugliness of DC come forth to say, we have a complete failed political system in Washington, D.C., that they're the do-nothing Congress, the do-nothing Senate.
Yeah.
And we're seeing Iran, China, Russia, they're maneuvering things even quicker now. It's getting quicker. The quickening is happening.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this all the time. Another perfect example is what Iran is doing with their energy contracts, correct?
Yeah, man, that's huge news for anybody that's been paying attention. Why don't you pull that up real quick? I'm having some system issues here.
Yeah. So today, basically what's happening is that Iran is getting ready to showcase new contracts that they have specifically have set up with Russia. So this changes quite a bit, because the whole paradigm regarding, the Saudi oil, where the oil is coming from, and to state that basically what currency do you think that they're going to be doing this trade in? I guarantee you it's not going to be the petrodollar.
Exactly. And that's the whole entire change that's occurring, man. It's while the politicians are locking horns, trying to get some sort of deal hammered out, some sort of agreements in place, Russia, China, Iran, the rest of the world is moving. They're moving on. They're moving forward. I mean, look at the world sees how fake we are. The world sees how dysfunctional we are. I mean, CJ, we're pretty much a failed state if you think about it, man. We're a failed state on life support. We're existing this long because our currency is accepted, and our currency is pegged to the petrodollar. It's pegged towards petroleum. What's going to happen when that peg is removed, which it's already happening at a rapid clip? The reality of what we truly are as a nation will be revealed to the rest of the world to see.
Yes, and in particular, when you think about it as well, V, is that the debt ceiling that's occurring right now, and you see where the income tax streams are down, people are filing their taxes even later. Yeah. I guarantee you, what we're going to see is a massive spending bill, another a QE4, that we're going to see this massive stimulus program that everyone, that in 2 years they have to have something that they try to hang their hat on to take back to their, their areas and say, hey, this is what we did, this is what we got accomplished. We're going to spend $2 trillion on infrastructure, and we're going to do this. We're going to see this QE4 program come forth, and when it does, I think that's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Is that the saying? to flip things into where they're going to see a huge pivot. I mean, we already see Russia doing it, right? Where they're, we covered extensively on Friday, where they're moving away from the international, monetary policy, moving more towards their own. So I think that we're going to see this escalate because they have lost faith in the West, and in particular with Trump. He has the next 3 or 4 months to really turn things around, or again, it's going to be looking at possibly a one-term president if things don't happen here soon.
Yeah, absolutely correct, man. Absolutely correct. With that being said, brother, I mean, we have the fake Satoshi Nakamoto. What's going on with this crazy guy?
So this is very interesting. This guy came forth. He's from, Australian guy by the name of Craig Wright. And basically he stated that he was actually Nakamoto. He was like, hey, I went by a pseudonym. This is me. I'm the key developer on all this. So basically they went through and they were able to detail and say, we don't think this is him. He is very smart. He is tech savvy. He understands a lot of things. But then they started to uncover some of the other things that he was doing in regards to, he was doing some land investment deals in Costa Rica. He was participating in this illegal gambling that was actually paying people in the United States, which, unfortunately in the United States, we can't participate in any type of, online, gambling, legally anyway.
Right.
So now what this guy is doing, he's partnering with another company, and they're actually working, and Reuters, reported this, and this was a while back, but what he's actually doing now is working to try to bring some of the technologies that the blockchain and that Bitcoin did, and he's trying to move to patent some of these things. So there's been a plan that he set forth with this gentleman by the name of Ayers. And the name of the company is called EITC Holdings, and they're trying to basically to patent over 150 different patents in regards to Bitcoin and the technology. So it'll be interesting to see whether this happens or not. I believe while he's under federal investigation right now for the online gambling here in the States and everything. But this guy's a character, to come out and basically state that he's to them, and now he's trying to profit, off these patents. And basically what he would do is, if he did get these patents, he'd just turn around and sell them, for billions of dollars. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes forward. So we'll definitely keep our eye on this.
Interesting. Very interesting. Wouldn't be the first guy, I don't think, that's tried this stunt before. The biggest problem these morons will have is their number one, their patent to be recognized globally. And number two, how do you patent something that's an open source and has been since its inception? An open source technology it's pretty funny,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just kind of out there. In terms of the trade, the other thing that's on our radar V is in terms of the U.S. and Russia direct trade.
Yeah,
that we're seeing, and I think that's going to accomplish quite a bit as far as relying on some of the non-traditional ways. And for so long we tried these sanctions on Russia, they didn't work. And now specifically when we looked at the US and Russia companies, we may be dealing with a lot more direct trade deals through intermediaries. What's the word? Intermediaries? Russia's trade intermediaries. So they basically are working to try to get this accomplished. So I mean, there are some things out there that could help, but are they going to happen quick enough for us, V?
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like the crazy lunatic politicians want to push us towards conflict. This is what the globalists always wanted. They always wanted not only to keep Russia and Germany separate, but also keep Russia and the United States separate. Believe it or not, Russia is a very natural ally. It's actually a very good fit for the United States, and that's one of the things that the globalists have always tried to do, is keep us separate. And Russian businessmen, American businessmen tend to get along great. And if we can get, if the captains of industry could, continue to forge alliances, which I think it's going to happen, it's going to go, far and long, a great way and a long way to help, shoring up some of our industries when this economic reset comes through, CJ. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then there's some other things that Trump could do, and we're hoping to get W on later this week for an interview because he has some pretty insightful information in regards to the whole FBI, the whole Spygate, the things that potentially have occurred. So I'd like for him to come on air and detail that out because we're talking probably a good 45 minutes, hour show detailing for us what specifically is happening behind closed doors. And I wish that they were having those hearings more transparent, but they're not. They're going to bring those in and they're going to be private meetings that they're going to. It's kind of funny how they can go on national television and feel comfortable lying to the American people about what they did, but they can't come forth on national television and be honest.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Well, what do you expect, man? You got a whole bunch of pedos running wild in DC. Is that right?
Well, here's the thing, and I meant to send you this in the link as well. So right now, year to date, and this is in DC area, in Washington DC, there have been over 500 kids gone missing. It's at the point now, and primarily ethnic, Black, Hispanic, young girls that have gone missing. And the one of the Black Caucus chairs, Cedric Richardson, along with some other representatives, have came forth and are really pressing the FBI to get involved, to say, hey, we need your help here. There is something specifically going on here. There's over 501 cases, and this has been logged by the AP. So this isn't just some huge conspiracy. Now, James Russian analyst sent me a link, and interesting enough, back in 2006 or 2009, it's one of those two. I'll go try to find it. The NBC actually aired an investigation of the State Department, and there was a huge pedo ring where involving ambassadors and regarding several people that worked in the State Department, records with prostitutes, with young girls, with young children. And at this time, they had this information, and NBC reported on this. That's the amazing thing. So at one point, they did report the truth. And guess who sat at was the Secretary of State that they completely just washed this investigation altogether, and it was completely ignored? Hillary Clinton.
Well, she's got, she's making deals, bro. She got more important things to worry about, like selling 20% of our plutonium to the, our uranium to the Russians, and cutting deals with Colombia and whatnot. Yeah, that's more important, Yeah,
so she completely they washed this out. It was dead. There was no other information. It didn't go forward or anything. So this has happened over the years, and now you look at what's happening in Washington D.C. When you look at what's happening national, it's time to put some more highlighted focus, around this. And I'm glad Dr. Phil did his episode where he actually has covered this. Yeah. I didn't send you the link because it was more kind of just a one-off, but there was another child prostitute that she came into the emergency room and she was stating to these doctors, listen, I need your help. They're tracking me. They're following me. They know where they are. These doctors, and they wouldn't come on the record to state their names just out of fear. She said, I have a chip in me. That's how they know where I am and everything. So long story short, when they did the MRI, when they did the scan of her, they did find something small in her body. So when they went to do the surgery and remove it, it was the same type of chip that they place in animals, in dogs and cats and everything. And it was no longer than like a grain of rice. And in there was an electronic, RFID to trace and to track these people. So those people are monsters, V. They truly are.
Freaking animals, bro. These are the type of people that need to be, again, we the population continue to push this and becomes to the forefront of our psyche. Once it gets into the critical mass, where it's part of the mass consciousness of humanity, we'll be able to form a fist that smashes these guys, because this type of behavior, man, this type of stuff needs to stop. CJ needs to stop quickly, bro.
Absolutely. And we're going to have Sean on hopefully this week with us, V, to help navigate through this, to get caught up, because he's been doing some amazing work at SGT with this. He's been, a lot of investigations, a lot of interviews. So it'll be nice to collectively try to bring this together a little bit and get an update from him as well.
Yeah, absolutely, brother, man. And last but not least, man, gold. What's going on with gold?
Well, obviously the fallout from the failed healthcare bill. So, now we're starting to see where, stocks are starting to take a tumble a little bit, and gold is back up to 1250.
Awesome. Yep. And it's surging, man, because you know what? People are going to need some sort of safe haven in all the chaos. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I think that just about covers it, CJ.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And we got London Paul coming on later on today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we always look forward to the London Paul show. So I'm excited for that.
Yep, absolutely, bro. And with that being said, guys, it's V and CJ. We'll be back again tomorrow for another edition of Mornings with V and CJ. Check out roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money, as well as the Rogue Money Facebook page. Also check out our sponsors, myfreedomnow.us, myfreedomnow.us. Get the credit score you deserve. That being said, we're over and out. Take it away, CJ.